Hey guys, Dan, Tri-Valley Trainer and Lean Online, and today I'm going to show you 3 lower body stretches. It's pretty common to have a reduced range of motion in the lower body, especially if you're fairly active and you don't specifically try to create a balance of range of motion and maximal openness at the joints. So things like cycling, running, biking, and even hiking can contribute to that, as well as side-to-side movements like racket sports and soccer and basketball. Okay, so here are 3 stretches that are pretty comprehensive for the lower body. The first hits the quadriceps, the front of the thighs. Second, hamstrings. And then finally, the hip glute complex, which is right around here. And based on how you position the shin, you can have a little bit more emphasis on the lateral portion of the joint, out more towards the hip, or deeper and more behind into the glutes on each side. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is quad stretch. This is called the hurdle stretch. And what you do is you basically extend one leg, and then the other leg it doesn't have to be tightly bent, just about 90 degrees or a little bit more acute than 90 degrees. And then you drop down on the forearm on the opposite side of the side with the bent knee. So you push the knee back, gently but deliberately push the knee back, and the hip bone forward. The iliac crest is the flare of your hip bone. You want to push that forward as you're pushing the knee back, and what that'll do is that'll start to create elongating load across the quadriceps. And then you pull your navel into your spine or create a vacuum to your abdomen as you lift your rib cage. And as you push the knee back, engaging the glutes, and once you're positioned, then you want to remember to release the stretched muscle, because it's going to probably tense up in defense of the stretch unless you've done it a bunch of times and your body's very familiar with it. So try to relax the quadriceps, maybe even ease up on the stretch a little bit, and then push that knee back further, and then you should feel nice, nice elongating load across the quadriceps. Now, I recommend that you hold the stretch for about 30 seconds, and if you have time to do this entire sequence, 2 rounds, one for 30 seconds each and one for 45 seconds each, okay? All right, so the second one we're gonna do is a really easy switch over. You're gonna just turn this leg in the opposite direction, so you're creating a figure 4. And then depending on your hamstring flexibility, you might need a little bit of bend in the knee, because if the leg is flat, you're gonna feel most of the stretch in the quadriceps, in the calf and the pit of the knee. So let the knee bend a little bit. So very important to keep your back flat, lengthen your spine, chin in and crown up. And then depending on your flexibility, you can come up underneath, grab the calf, the Achilles tendon, the toe, or the arch. Now, I'm pretty flexible for with my hamstrings. Only go further into that sequence if you can maintain. I'm going to give you a little angle, the lumbar curve, the natural slight inward arch to the low back. Don't hunch and round the spine. Don't lead with your chin. Don't lead with your forehead. Don't lead with your shoulders. If you can keep the back flat, then you can go to the further attachment point, okay? So that is for the hamstrings. I'm keeping the spine long. I'm bringing my xiphoid process, which is the notch at the base of my sternum, forward towards the toe. Try to relax the hamstrings in response to the stretch. The more often you do this, the more receptive the targeted muscle tendon chain will be to the stretch. Okay, so lengthen the spine, chin in, crown up. Big deep breath. Relax on the out breath. Now I'm only demonstrating one side for each of these stretches. Obviously, you do both sides. Finally, this is a hip glute stretch. What you're going to do is you're going to lay down and cross your left leg over your right lower quadriceps above the ankle, so there's no pressure to push the foot in, so there's no pressure on the ankle at all. And then laying on the back, that basically preserves the lumbar curve as long as you don't intentionally tilt your rib cage in or tilt your pelvis tilt your rib cage in, or keep your pelvis. You want to keep your pelvis in position so you tilt the tailbone into the floor. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so you hinge the hips by pulling your right knee in, and then of course the crossover shin is going to come closer to your torso. Now, you may not be able to go very far into it. In fact, even coming up off the floor a little bit with this foot might be problematic for you. In which case, all you need to do is lengthen that spine and then just hold on to that position. Over time, as you get more flexible, you can bring the knee in. You can hold on to the hamstrings on the lift side, on the side that's creating the leverage for the stretch. So hold the stretch, let the shin, you want to create about a 90-degree angle, femur to shin, and about a 45-degree angle relative to your spine. And then hold that stretch for about 10 seconds, and then gently push the knee out away from the same side shoulder. That would gravitate the stretch out laterally to the hip. Hold that for 10 seconds, and then come around the outside of the knee and bring it across to the opposite shoulder. Again, keep the tailbone pressed into the floor, keep the spine long, abs engaged, and then 10 seconds there. Okay, so you're going to do 10 in the neutral position, 10 pushing the knee out slightly, 10 pushing the knee, pulling the knee across to the opposite shoulder. Okay, so those are your lower body stretches. Contact me at dan@trivalleytrainer.com if you have any questions or you're interested in working with one of our fantastic trainers. All right, have a great day.